The Oklahoma defense, my goodness, they played with a lot of ferocity on Saturday against Temple. Let's discuss them coming up next here on Locked On Sooners.
You are Locked On Sooners, your daily podcast on the Oklahoma Sooners. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Once again, thanks for making Locked On Sooners your first listen every single day. Shout out to all the everydayers out there. Tune in and subscribe to the show wherever you get your podcasts. We're part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Jay, the Oklahoma defense was absolutely dominant against a Temple Owls team that had put up a lot of points and a lot of yards through the first couple weeks of the season. They didn't give them any room to work. They did not allow them to get comfortable in the slightest.
So it's funny. I know we've both mentioned this on a few occasions, and I just kind of want to emphasize this a little bit. Temple averaged over 510 yards per game coming into this game. Everyone that we've played so far this year averages over 45 points per game before they played us. Just, I want y'all that to sink in. 40, I think Illinois State's like over 40 right now. I know Michigan's 48. I know Temple's like 48. That's what they averaged before they played against us. And we held them way below all their averages. We held Temple to 5 yards in a game where we played 29 dudes. This is why I point this out, John. And I'm hoping everybody really lets this sink in, and why I am really gassing up the fact that we did this to Temple. Everybody else in the conference played other teams as well. They, played, there's about 5 games where they played basically a quote unquote cupcake. And in those games, really only 2 of them actually dominated in a way that you're supposed to, Missouri and Mississippi State. Everybody else was kind of a little shaky. Texas was a little shaky with UTEP, right? Kentucky was a little shaky with Eastern Michigan. My point behind that is
Auburn was a little
shaky with South Alabama. But my point is they all played their 2 and their 3 deeps as well, and things were still shaky. We went 2 and 3 deep. Wyatt Gilmore got a sack. Did y'all expect that on y'all's bingo card? That is,
I expect the Philadelphia police to show up and arrest him for assault. My God.
Exactly, because that was a beautiful fumble he caused too. But he's your 3 deep. We went pretty deep into the cupboard to play a lot of players just because we had the opportunity to. And we were still able to maintain the consistency we needed. James Nesta's out there getting hits in. That's my point. If we had let them get close, at least half of what they had got on offense, wouldn't be gassing this up. I'd be like, okay, we played Temple. We beat them like we're supposed to. Cool. We handle business. But the fact that we were able to drop them down to 20% of their offensive production, dude, y'all go ahead. Take a lap. You deserve it.
Yeah. I mean, they only allowed 2 yards per play, like 1.9 yards per play to be exact. That's incredible. And consider that they did allow a 20-yard run and still only allowed an average of 1 yard per carry in this game.
And we're going to do that. We're going to give up an occasional, big play here. I mean,
game Michigan
get a 75-yard touchdown. Right. But the offense is also doing a great job of making sure that they're rested as well. That's the beauty of it.
Yeah.
It's just, but yeah, we played a lot of players. We played 29 players, John. 29 people played in this game. That's a lot.
Yeah.
I'm not sure people realize that.
I was shocked when I looked at the snap counts and saw that Jaden Jackson and Kendall Daniels had only played 12 snaps, according to Pro Football Focus. Like they got in there for a couple of theories, and the coaching staff's like, y'all are good. You don't need any more. You're fine. But
it did not feel like it.
They went deep, man, and I love it. Marvin Jones Jr. played a lot, probably in large part due to the R. Mason Thomas ejection, but I mean, they got a lot of guys on the field, and those guys looked really, really good. They were flying around. They were playing with the same aggressiveness, the same attitude, the same physicality. And that's exciting, not just for this year, but for the future as well, that when you do lose some of these veteran players off the roster, that you got guys that are coming up right behind them. I mean, the safety trio of Reggie Powers III and Michael Boganowski and Jaden Hardy, like they were out there to try to punish some people. They weren't just trying to make tackles. They were actually trying to punish some folks, and they made it a huge impact.
Shout out to our boy Kendall Doby as well. He got he got 28 snaps in this game.
Back,
him
Kendall
and Jacoby
Doby.
Johnson both had 28. He played a lot. Devon Jordan had 30 in this one. And I think the thing with Kendall is funny because Pro Football Focus has on their stats that Kendall was targeted 4 times and he gave up 4 catches for 25 yards. That feels really low for someone to give up. You gave up 4 catches, but you only gave up 25 yards. I'm okay with that. And I think it was a lot of the underneath stuff where he was stepping back in a little bit of zone waiting for him, and he came up and he went and tackled them, which he has a very high tackling grade because that's kind of what he does well. 4 tackles in the game. He was out there tackling folks. We get KD 15 back to go with KD 5. Whew. I think I'm good in our secondary, especially with Cortland Guillory playing. He played 26 snaps. You saw 4 corners, and I am actually you saw 6 because if I'm correct, Tristan Haynes also got some run in this game. I'm very happy to see and hear that that's basically, the thing that we were worried about the most was secondary going into this season, not safeties, but corners. And I think we're good. And so with that, John, I think we can keep this going with this defense. I think that this Auburn game will be another statement game that we do, similar to what we did against Michigan. It'll be our second statement game. And it'll also be the second one that I think most people will say don't count because of who we're playing against.
Yeah. I mean, it seems like Brent Venables out there to make statements. Like he was sending 8 and 9 rushers at Evan Simon in the second half. It was very much like we're out here to prove a point, not just to go win the game. Like they against Illinois State, they just went and won the game. Against Michigan, they were flying around, they were physical, they were hitting, and they seemed like a team that was out there to try to prove like, hey, we're not going to suffer any letdown. We're not looking ahead to Auburn. We are focused on the task at hand. And they really were, man. It never really got away from them. Again, they allowed the big play on the ground, but then they bottled it up. They were able to stack up Temple and not allow them to get much further. The interception that should have been really a targeting play, when the defense got on the field, they knocked them back 3 yards and then forced a field goal. Like they continue to just absolutely shut down teams when they get good field position off of a turnover, off of a penalty or whatever it is. It's just they lock it up and they say, nope, that's it. You're good. That's all you're going to get. And so, man, it's been exciting to watch this defense play football because I feel like it's been a long time since we've seen a defense play as fast and physical and confident as this team is playing right now. Even last year's defense, it was good, but it wasn't as good as I think this one's going to be this year.
No, I agree with you 100%. And I've said it. I think that this defense will finish up being better than last season statistically. And I more so alluded to that being because the offense is going to be able to be complementary to it. But I think I may need to adjust that because it kind of feels like this defense is just better because it's just better. And being able to go deeper and people understanding this defense and being ready to play. Taylor Heim walked in there, 13 snaps in this, John, 4 tackles. He was up there at the top in tackles. And I mentioned how I'd be intrigued to see a Taylor Heim, Kendall Daniels lineup just because you'd have 2 giants running around, a 6'6" dude, athlete, and a 6'5" monster that keeps leveling people. That would be funny to see those 2 just roaming around. How hard would it be to throw it over the top of them? And there's a chance you may see something like that as Taylor Heim got out there on the field. And again, he got 4 tackles, 4 stops in just the 13 snaps he's played. So many people, the moment they got on the field, John, they took advantage of the opportunity. And that's where I'm the most proud. This defense is built to potentially keep going like this.
Yeah, in years past, we would have seen a drop-off when you go to the second, third units. You know, a team gets a little bit of momentum. They're able to score a touchdown. There was no drop-off. No drop-off in intensity, no drop-off in schematic understanding of what they're responsible for, no drop-off in anything. They just played whistle to whistle and, again, dominated the Temple Owls. Again, maybe not as good of a Temple Owls team as what everybody was trying to gas it up, Kirk Herbstreit, but they dominated this team just like they should have. Last note, David Stone, like the coming out party is happening before our eyes.
Oh my gosh.
He is just wrecking shop there in the middle. He's just been so good, man. And eventually the sack is going to come. The big TFL is going to hit, but the pressure numbers he's putting up right now are just crazy.
It is ridiculous. We put up 27 pressures in this game on defense.
Yeah.
27.
Just crazy.
And they dropped back 27 times. Just a note.
Yeah. And final one, only 5 missed tackles. And that's the other part that can really get exacerbated when you go to a young player, a young unit, is more missed tackles with younger guys on the field. That was not the case against Temple. What do the polls look like? We got US LBM and AP top 25 polls coming up. We'll discuss here on Locked On Sooners.